It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Showtime. Geno Jones Showtime. I come to you live, yes, live, L-I-V-E, live, Monday through Friday, unless I tell you otherwise. 7:30 here in the Carolinas, on the East Coast. Shout out to everybody. Central Time, 6:30 Chicago, Milwaukee, Memphis, Tennessee, Minneapolis. Stand up, we see you. Little Rock, Arkansas, New Orleans. All my folks in Texas. From Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston. Where tonight's guest. She is part of the Geno Jones Show family. She's returning again, an author, motivational speaker, and she's voted. Texas early voting has already started. All right, Jasmine Crockett. And I saw a video, so I'm going to talk about that. But anyway, 6:30 Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast, live in Los Angeles and Las Vegas. Like, share, and subscribe. Click on that button. Do it right now. I know you say, we haven't seen the episode. You're going to love it. So go ahead and click that like button now. Get it out the way. Share this episode, and tell everybody to subscribe. We're 10. Count, let me give you an official count. 10, last check, subscribers away from becoming a YouTube partner. What does becoming a YouTube partner means? It means that my media company, certain threshold, 1,000 new subscribers, and then my media company and this channel will get a check from YouTube every month. Basically, that is what it means. And at this moment, as of 7:32 Eastern Time, the official count is, just need 10 new subscribers. We can do that before the end of the show. I know you can make it happen. Everybody watching me live, 10 new subscribers will become that YouTube partner. My media company will get that income from YouTube. Thank you for supporting Black-owned businesses and supporting Black-owned media. It is so important because all this other corporate media, the MAGA-controlled white nationalists, call themselves white supremacists, white nationalists, racists, misogynist, sexist, pedophilic. Is that a word, pedophilic? Pedo adjacent, the pedo patrol. No, and I'm not making a joke about pedophiles, not at all. So I digress. So it's so important we have, some people call it alternative media. All right, thank you for watching the Geno Jones Show, brought to you by the town of Hollywood, South Carolina. Shout out to Mayor Shardell Murray and Murray's Mortuary, 3 locations here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area, Hollywood, South Carolina, Johns Island, South Carolina, North Charleston, South Carolina. Thank you, Mayor Shardell Murray, the town of Hollywood, South Carolina. You will be seeing Mayor Shardell Murray on the show very soon. They had a great event on Sunday. One of the council persons, she was on the show. I feel so bad. I can't think of the council person's name. The sister was amazing. A week ago today, last Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. So anyway, I want to thank the town of Hollywood, South Carolina. I want to thank Mayor Shardell Murray. That's Mayor Shardell. That's cute, almost sound like a drink. Shardell Murray, and Murray's Mortuary. All right. Now, before I bring on my guests, Miss Trenace Carter, our friends call her Tracy. I call her T. So, I did not watch the train wreck. I couldn't, almost 2 hours of just lies, bullshit, lies, more bullshit, more lies. Sticking to the lie, making shit up. Protect your peace. I had to protect my peace. I saw enough clips, and there was no way, that would have been 148 minutes out of my life that I could never recapture. It would be a lost nearly 2 hours that I couldn't get back. And I was not going to waste not even 2 hours or an hour and 48 minutes on that energy. I had to protect my life force in space. Just no, because we know what time it is. The lies don't matter anymore. Not really, because people, even a lot of the cult, many of the cult members is like, wait a minute, hold on. I can't afford rent. I can't. It takes damn near two paychecks, two take-home paychecks. A lot of people, your whole paycheck. If you get paid twice a month, some people got to take one whole paycheck and half of the next paycheck just to pay their rent. Kids out of college can't find a job. The black unemployment rate is over 8%. It is double that of white America. Nearly 8%. Didn't happen under Biden. Didn't happen under Barack. But this dude said, "Oh, I'm the greatest president for black people since Abraham Lincoln. Oh, I'm the greatest friend and the president for black people ever. And I'm not racist." Well, bullshit. Because your cult members, you, at your behest, your leadership or lack of leadership, the tone of racism and misogyny and sexism, the racist energy and the ideology, you have given a permission structure to the other, white nationalists, this warped racist, misogynist ideology of whiteness, which is made up. It's not rooted in biology or science, and it's so weird because it made people give up their own identity as Germans or French or Irish or Italians or from Great Britain or from Belgium or from Turkey or Lithuania, Russia. You gave up your own identity to embrace some bullshit that was made up to really hoodwink you all and put you all in the trick bag. So a small handful of people who were wealthy, the time they called them robber barons, millionaires, now billionaires that could control the social, economic, and political power. This has gone on for centuries. That's why it's called a social construct. So that means it's a con. It's a fancy way of saying they created this con game called whiteness to make people who, Europeans who created this ideology and system, because it's really, it's rooted, it's woven into an institution of social, economic, and political power. All right, look, I'm not a teacher, but it's just real simple. And it's a great way to divide people who identify as white, poor, some is po, there's poor and then po. There's poor, barely holding on. Millions of people of all ethnic backgrounds, but they had to come up with a way to these wealthy so-called white people that never called themselves until they invented this con game in the late 1680s. Like, we don't want these poor white folks to get pissed off at us because we really don't like them. We ain't effing with them like that. Poor Europeans, the working class, the working masses in Europe, half of them was sent, the ones that was criminals and prisoners, they sent to Australia, and another significant number was sent here. The ones who couldn't cut it and make it in, like Great Britain, the UK, United Kingdom, and Europe, they sent them here. It was created because these elite, wealthy Europeans referred to, Europeans who were poor and less educated peasants. So bring it back to America. This is, Orange Hitler has been propped up by these racist, white, a lot of them, well, they call themselves Christian, white, straight, male, billionaire men, billionaire white, straight men, most of them. Not all of them, because some of them, they're cosplaying, like Peter Thiel, this guy that's in Trump's cabinet is a billionaire, Scott Bessent. He's from South Carolina. married to his husband. But see, you didn't know that, did you? See, they be cosplaying. They'll go along with the homophobia, but it's just like you have black people that embrace white nationalism, the ideology, the anti-blackness, the self-hate. You have some of the LGBTQ community. You have some gay men who embrace the homophobia, and they gay themselves. But as long as they can have access, be close to power and money, they'll play the game. And it's a whole bunch of them. And there's some other ones that you've been seeing in politics, in the Senate, U.S. Senate, in the Congress for years. I could name check, but I won't name check them by the names you know. One's nicknamed Butterfly. So I want to name. As a matter of fact, those who watch, if you know, you know. You probably have an idea who I may be talking about. But the hypocrisy is the point. But the main point is that these lies, all this is a distraction. You know, you want to bomb Iran and all this crazy talk. In the meantime, you're protecting all these pedophiles, and now, more and more and more, there was a story that is really got more traction yesterday. Apparently, you had all these FBI files, interviews. Apparently, there was a young woman who went to the FBI and basically reported that she was sexually assaulted by Owen Chitler. Now, this is not a stretch for a couple reasons. One, because the man admitted to sexual assaulting women out of his own mouth, and you saw the video. He said, not me. Nobody made this. Nobody accusing. Oh, they're picking on. Just give him a chance. And he, Orange Hitler, aka Donald J. The J stands for jackass, Trump. He said on tape, when you are a celebrity, you can do anything to women. You can grab women by their genitalia, lower extremities. You can grab them by the P word, like a cat. Grab them by the pussy cat. And they'll let you get away with it if you're a celebrity. This man admitted that. He said that out of his own mouth. E. Jean Carroll accused him of sexual assault. Went to court, civil trial, and a jury found Orange Hitler liable of sexual assault. He still has not paid this woman at $90 million. And the judge in that civil trial, this wasn't a criminal trial, this was a civil trial. And the judge in that trial said the evidence that was revealed in his courtroom convinced him that Orange Hitler, Donald Trump, raped E. Jean Carroll. That is on the record. Chat GPT that. Google that. I'm not even bothered putting the link up. You can find it. It's easy to find. So apparently there was a woman a couple times interviewed by the FBI, and all of a sudden, all these pages and pages of FBI Epstein files and FBI interviews with this one woman have just disappeared into thin air. Like the dog ate it. I don't know. Somebody poured bleach on it. They just, you had the winter storm Hernando, and the wind blew them out the window, and just all of a sudden, all these pages, the Epstein files, with the pages of FBI investigative, basically reports. When this woman went to the FBI and filed her complaint, you can't find it. Just all these pages of the Epstein files, these FBI reports and interviews, FBI interviews to be more accurate, just disappeared. But I'm just bringing it back to, where the ghosts can get it, and I'm just bringing it back to follow the money. This is the greatest economy. It's the greatest economy if you were a billionaire. If you are Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg or Peter Thiel or Larry Ellison who owns Oracle and trying to buy Warner Brothers and the whole Warner Brothers studio, CNN. This Trump's boy, David's son, David Ellison, just bought and completely ruined and effed up CBS. CBS News they might as well just change. Nobody would ever. And CBS News for decades, it was the platinum, not the gold standard. It was the platinum standard for journalism. I used to work for a local CBS news station in Chicago, WBBM Channel 2. Two of the most iconic news anchors in the history of news. Bill Curtis, eventually worked for the network. Walter Jacobson. Iconic. They were the platinum standard. Even networks, they would judge themselves and measure themselves by the standards, the journalistic standards at CBS and stations like WBBM TV in Chicago. I started off answering phones, was a production assistant while I was still in college in the 80s. And now CBS, that shit is not even, it's so sad, it's not even funny. It's not even a joke. Like TMZ would look at CBS and be like, news? That ain't shit, that ain't no news. It's propaganda. They're like competing, trying to be like MAGA state TV. Now you got all these channels trying to be MAGA state TV. But in the meantime, even the cult, like, wait a minute, hold on. It takes almost 2 whole paychecks. My whole take-home pay. It takes one whole check and half of my other check, take-home pay, to pay my rent, my mortgage, not to mention my energy bill. People have to choose between paying light bills or medicine, not to mention the people who have lost health insurance, it's gotten kicked off, not to mention the people who can't afford it, whose premiums went from $200 a month to $1,000 a month, or from $300 a month to $1,300 or $900 a month. People can't afford child care. You shouldn't have to file for bankruptcy to go to a doctor or to take your child to a doctor. It shouldn't take 2/3 of your take-home pay to pay your rent. You shouldn't have to figure out a way to come up with 20% of $500,000 to buy your first home. All right? You shouldn't have to pay $2,000 a month for child care. And that's on the low end in a lot of cities. So the question is, what have you done for me lately? That's what people are, damn all that bullshit, that hour and 48 minutes, all them lies, as my grandmother says, stick to the lie. All that doesn't matter. Because now people understand that this is not about, because the truth is, it was really never this political ideology. That was a distraction and bullshit, but it was never really about that. It was always about the control of money and power. Social, or really economic, because it always follows the money. It always starts and ends with the money. With economic, political, social power. Always, always. And all the other, ideologies, political ideologies, religious, all these, fake Christians, white, racist, right-wing Christian nationalism. Y'all really think that y'all gonna see heaven with this racist remix version of Christianity that was used to enslave Africans, that was used to basically commit genocide on Native Americans, to invade, conquer, destroy, burn, kill, and rape under the guise of Jesus? Yeah, it never but never talk about, loving thy neighbor, welcoming the stranger, the immigrant. how you treat the least of these, how you treat me. That Matthew 25 version of Christianity, somehow y'all just ripped that up out the Bible. That remix King James version Bible that y'all, that racist remix version of Christianity, who don't understand that Christianity actually originated on the continent of Africa, Ethiopia, that region. Google Coptic Christians, but I digress. So here's the bottom line. What are you going to do? What are you going to do for me? What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me today? What are you going to do to make my life better? And what are you going to do to help me be the best version of myself and my family? So to the Democrats, because these titles are just, these labels are really insignificant now. It's a choice between humanity. Are you running to lean into humanity to help people and to make their lives better? Or are you running to enrich yourself and to perpetuate hatred, racism, bigotry, misogyny, sexism, violence, the murdering American citizens that don't bend the knee and buy into this racist, misogynist ideology that's only going to benefit these handful of billionaires that don't give a shit about nobody else, and they got you distracted thinking that this whiteness is going to save you. They don't give a shit about your whiteness. To my MAGA brothers and some of you black folks that, look at yourselves and the rest of the world and other black people and the Hispanic, you got Hispanic men out there. As a matter of fact, the two people who shot and killed Alex Preddy had Hispanic surnames. So they're hiring this insidious disease of white nationalism has people hating themselves. Well, it had to get Europeans to buy into some made up shit that caused them to give up and alienate their own identity. So what have you done for me lately? What can you do for me lately? What can you do for me today? Do you see me as a human no matter what? How are you going to make my life better? How are you going to help me make the lives of me? How are you going to help me and my family be the best versions of ourselves? So if you're running for office, that should be your conversation. You make sure that everybody can see a doctor without having to file for bankruptcy. The fact that black unemployment is double that of white America, that shit is wrong. Forget that. That you shouldn't have to, it shouldn't take one whole paycheck of take-home pay and then half of your second, if you get paid twice a month, it shouldn't take half of that second take-home pay just to pay your rent or mortgage. Or you shouldn't have to worry about coming up with 20% of $500,000 or $600,000 or $700,000, $800,000 if you just came out of college, if you're 22 or 23 or 24. When youth unemployment for folks under 30 is, I think is higher than it is for black unemployment. That plain and simple. It's a choice between humanity and inhumanity. All right, let me bring on my guest. She's been super patient. Ladies and gentlemen, she's an author, motivational speaker, brilliant sister. She's got an incredible forum, a one-day forum, seminar, panel discussion. And here she is down there in Texas, repping Jasmine Crockett. Stand up, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Geno Jones Show. Author Trenace, a.k.a. Tracy, Miss Carter. Good evening. Welcome. How's life down there in Texas?
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I voted today. Did you?
I love it. That's right. Early voting. So actually, Texas, come on, stand up. And so first of all, early voting started, about 2 weeks ago? Fill us in on that.
February 17th started early voting.
Okay.
And it ends on Friday. Polls are open at 7:30 in the morning. They close at 7 p.m. So you got 12 hours and 30 minutes to get your ass out and vote. I don't know what else I do know what else I can say. If you go to harrisvotes.com, if you in Harris County like me, Harris County is the largest county in Texas and the third largest county in the country. You can go to harrisvotes.com and you can enter your name and pull the ballots and see a sample ballot. That's how I did my research actually for my decisions for who I was going to actually vote for. Jasmine Crockett was a given. Tellerico, I guess
well, you know what? So T, thank you. You helped set me up, and we had somewhat of it was an informal pre-show meeting, but I'm glad I want to pause you on Jasmine Crockett because I want to pick up on a video I saw on social media. I don't know if you saw it, and it was a white woman. Obviously, she lived in Texas, and she was very passionate. She talked about how much she loved. I love Jasmine Crockett, and I believe in everything that she's saying, and she stands for. And she literally, T, was like holding back tears, and then she said, "But I voted for Tallarico because," she said, "I want to win."
So I saw an opposite video. I don't know who it was. I saw a Stitch video with this white woman. She was like, "Oh yeah, I like Tellerico," and but I'm telling you, don't vote for him. Vote for Jasmine Crockett. And she went over all of the reasons why you vote for Jasmine, why you want to vote for Jasmine Crockett. So the verbiage is here that she is unelectable. I say that's a lie.
Thank you.
He does.
And let me just pause you on that. What the words you said? She didn't. The white woman didn't say that. She said it without using the word unelectable. So let me. I just want to.
Say.
I want to set. Let me
the
set
lady
the
that
table.
I saw did say that.
Yeah. Let me set the table so I can throw it back to you because I want us to focus on this word unelectable. For those who may not know, the largest concentration of black people in America today, which I didn't realize, T is already giving it away. The largest concentration of black people in America today by state, now not percentage-wise, Mississippi has the highest percentage in terms of the actual population. I think almost upper 30%, almost 40% of Mississippi is black. But in terms of raw numbers, the largest amount of black Americans in any state, no, it ain't Georgia. I know you may think about Atlanta. It's like, oh man, Atlanta, I know. It's not Georgia. We're from Chicago. Full disclosure, T and I both are, she's suburban Chicago, we're from the Chi. It's not Chicago. No, it's not New York City. No, it's not New York State. It's not Illinois. It ain't California. I know you got LA and San Francisco, Oakland. It ain't California. It is Texas. So why am I making that point, T? That if collectively, just as we as black people, the same 92% that supported Kamala Harris, the same 80%. Now I don't know what the breakdown was statewide in Texas. You probably know better than me, but just nationally, not to mention because the largest voting group in America was the 90 plus million people that just said fuck it, didn't vote at all. So my point is, this white woman, T, listen, this was not AI, and it was authentic. You could see, I mean, she was pained, but we're talking about the ideology, the mentality, the brainwash. This white woman, she was an elderly woman. She had been brainwashed. She is bought into the bullshit that somehow, well, if you're not a white man, you are not electable. Here's the secret. You know what makes you electable? Is when people show up that believe in you. Texas got the numbers. So hello, Black Texans, if just show up, shut up and show up and vote, and all this other unelectable argument, that shit will go right out. Guess what? And T, you know what I'm talking about, especially when I go there. I remember, and I know you do too, Tracy. I remember when this guy who was a state senator in Illinois had this funny name, and I remember in 2004 he gave this great speech at the Democratic convention. John Kerry was running for president. Dude had a funny name, like had a Muslim name, and he decided after becoming a U.S. senator, when people thought he never had a chance to become a U.S. senator from Illinois, and then he decided after a couple years he was going to run for president, and people laughed at him because he was in the Democratic primary, and he had to run against, of all people, the Clinton machine, Hillary Clinton. Oh, there's no way that this, how's he going to, he can't, the Clintons and Bill Clinton. And people thought he didn't have a snowball's chance in hell until something happened in Iowa, a state that is like 90+% somewhere north, somewhere in the mid 90s, 94, 95, 96%, this in 2007, white. And he won the Democratic primary, beat Hillary Clinton in Iowa, where it was like no black folks. And then many black folks, Tracy, you know this for a fact. I remember I was on the phone with my mother. Black people were calling other black people. It's like, damn, you won Iowa? Ain't no black folks in Iowa. Wow, white folks voted for him. But the point
so there's a caveat to that.
Yeah, but here's the point I'm trying to make. The point is, if black people in Texas, if the Latino brothers in Texas are tired of seeing their fellow Latino 5-year-old kids, 2-year-old babies thrown in these internment prison camps right there in the state of Texas, if people show up, you won't have to worry about elderly white women who have been brainwashed. You know, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way, because a lot of people have been brainwashed to say, well, she's not electable because she's a black woman. She's very electable if people show up. Now, give us your caveat. But my point is, Texas, especially black folks, not to mention the Latino brothers, you see what this administration think of your ass. So what else? I don't know what else. How many more families? How many more kids got to be snatched up? How many more Latino women have to be shot 5 times, like the Latino sister in Chicago, who only acted God that she survived after being shot 5 times? What else will it take? So if people show up, Jasmine Crockett will be very electable because you got the numbers. So give us that caveat, T.
So the caveat to Obama, President Obama, because I don't like when people call him Obama. He was the president and continue to call him the president. That's the first thing. The caveat to President Obama winning Iowa was because Hillary Clinton was Hillary and not Bill. That's the caveat to that. So what I notice in politics is that women have a glass ceiling to what they will be elected as.
That's true.
So let's just put it out there. And women do it.
But let me ask you this. Now let's go back. Let's go back and not remix history. Now let's think about, because that wasn't the argument in 2007. All the experts, the pundits, and all the polls showed that Hillary Clinton, even as a woman, a white woman, was a shoo-in to at least, there was no way that she would lose the primary to President Obama.
Yeah, well, that's what they say, but I knew different. I knew different because as a woman, I know other women, and women. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know as a woman. As much as I believe and I know that women can do everything that a man could do, I don't want to do everything that a man can do, but we can. Um, we run Fortune 500 companies, and we do all of the things, but we are just not going to vote for a woman in the place of the president right now. That's just not going to happen right now.
Okay,
A
so
woman
let me stop you only for this based on what you just said. Now, she's not running for the U.S. presidency, but she is.
She
running
can win.
for,
She can win. She
right.
can win because right now the numbers that are out right now, first of all, said during the primary elections, the Republicans normally come out in droves.
Mm-hmm.
The Republicans have not come out this year. The Democrats have come out in droves based on what the numbers are saying right now. So it's all of, and the numbers are polling that Jasmine is winning.
Okay, so let me. That's as of now, but now I'm just taking you back to the point you were making in terms of being the president, because you had two women, you even had a white woman that ran, and the majority of white women didn't even vote for her, Hillary Clinton.
So didn't you and I was on your show on
Yeah,
election
we were
day.
talking. Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and I said to you, this country is not going to elect a woman right now. I really don't know what it's going to take for women to stop voting against themselves, because for me, this is what this is. This is you voting against your own benefit. You voting against yourself.
I
Because
agree.
look,
So let me pause you. So this is what I want you to this. So somebody clip this and send it to a Jasmine Crockett. So what would you tell Jasmine if you were just some free advice? He's like, hey, Jasmine, my sister, because you still, and I know she knows this. She's a brilliant sister, but this is still a system rooted in patriarchy, which is basically rooted in misogyny and sexism. That's basically what patriarchy is, a system dominated, created primarily by wealthy white men, to where only wealthy white men will benefit and have power and basically to oppress everybody else. So knowing how pervasive patriarchy is and the misogyny and sexism, what would you tell Jasmine Crockett to how because you can, my grandfather said you do what you want to do when you want to do it. Nobody thought Barack Obama, President Obama, this dude named Barack Obama, he didn't have a snowball's chance in hell. So he is an example. It can happen. So my take, especially you're right there in Texas, what would you tell Jasmine Crockett? How does she overcome the inherent misogyny, sexism, patriarchy that's rooted in that thinking? Because just like you said, that there are women who don't think a woman should be be a leader or president. There's some women just like that white woman who meant well that basically said the same thing about a black woman running to be U.S. senator. So what would you tell Jasmine Crockett how to overcome that and navigate that?
so I wouldn't tell her nothing, because I think she is doing a damn good job. I think that who she is as an individual, how she asserts herself, how she speaks on things, how she stands on business, I think that's why the people love her. I think that's one of the things that people admire about her. I believe that she is going to win. She's going to be our pick. That's what I believe. I believe I believe that dude is going to be it's just like he's splitting the vote. Now, he said that he wouldn't do that, but here he is. He wouldn't back out. He got more. He has, I think, maybe $1 million more than she does.
Oh yeah.
She has but he took Super PAC money. So, I mean, I don't think he has a chance. For me, he doesn't have a chance, but I think that we need to stop voting against ourselves. We shouldn't be picking people based on a white and a black. I choose based on what aligns with me, how it's going to affect the people that I'm connected to directly and indirectly. And that's how I think we should all choose. That's how I appreciate the fact that Texas has done away with selecting straight Democrat and straight Republic. I appreciate that because in the past, some of the Republicans' stance on things I agreed with, but now I don't agree with none of that shit. Just straight up, you claiming
whatever that Republican Party was, how many eons?
it's not that.
That don't exist. That no. There is no longer a Republican Party as people knew it. Is George W. Bush or his daddy? That even Mitt Romney, John McCain. No, them they
It's
they
not
ran
that.
all them out of there, and just the racists and misogynists and rapists and pedophiles took over and called it MAGA. So
This is what I think about the Republican Party. The Republican Party is running on Christianity. It's running on the Esther Project. It's running on things that are labeled as Christianity, but it's not that.
Right, but see, when you say labeled it's really that's an insult to Christianity.
Well, so we're not even talking about the insult. We're talking about how they are gaining votes because they are saying that they have this moral standard that they do not. This country does not have the moral standard that it says that it has, and that's just it just does not.
These people voted for a man convicted, a 34-time convicted felon who admitted that he could get away with sexually assaulting a woman. He admitted it out of his own mouth. He was found liable in a civil trial of sexual assault.
So
these Christians still voted. These so-called Christians somehow through their moral. How is it they threw all this Christianity and morality and 10 Commandments, and how did they throw all that shit out the window and say, well, that's
so okay. This is what they did. We're gonna throw the fact because it is a fact that he is a 34 count felon. We're gonna throw that all out the window. He lied the first time he was in office. He didn't do any of the things that he said. And you gave him the opportunity, although prior to him being in office, he showed you what his character was. Right now here in Houston, they are running Republicans. I rarely see a Democrat commercial. I see mostly Republican commercials. And a lot of the Republicans that are running, they are saying, I'm a business person. I'm not an attorney. They don't have these credentials that they say these people that are playing with this country have. I'm a businessman. So they running on the same shit that Donald Trump ran on. So they just putting the bow of Christian on it for them to get the Christian vote. I saw a couple of weeks ago where Donald Trump said, I'm not a Christian. Two Christian people.
He's been saying that. He's been saying that for years.
So we can say the Republicans can say they're doing this under the Christian banner, but Jesus said, what you do to the least of my people, you do to me.
Come on.
The fact that
say
you
that
are
burnt. Say that again, T. I don't think the folks say that again for the MAGAs that hard of hearing. The hearing aid went out because they don't have enough money to buy a battery for that hearing aid. Tell them that again.
What you do to the least of my people, you do to me. So the fact that, you remember all of them tons of food that were in maybe
USAID,
You remember they didn't want to give that up. They chose to burn the food up.
Yeah.
They choose to burn the food up.
They had to throw it away. Tons of it, millions of tons.
It wasn't even spoiled yet. It wasn't even spoiled yet. I know for a fact because I volunteer at food banks that they have been turning food bank trucks away. What you do to the least, how they cutting this insurance? And that's it. And I was seeing somewhere that the money that they are paying ICE with came from how they cut Medicaid and Medicare. And they have more money than for ICE than they have for the Marines. And you don't want you cut Medicaid and Medicare. And when it comes down to it, the quota for ICE is, I think, like 3,000 people per day.
Yep.
President Obama has deported more people without that quota.
2.5 million.
Legally than who shall not be named.
Without snatching 5-year-old babies out of, or 2-year-old little girls out of the arms of their family, to the point to where you know down in Texas, you've been there for a while. A lot of the Latino, the Hispanic brothers and sisters, the activists, they nicknamed President Obama the porter in chief. They were mad at him.
Yeah, they were.
You never saw anybody. You didn't see people being shot in the head. You didn't see priests being shot in the head with pepper balls in suburban.
You wasn't seeing protests either. You weren't seeing protests either. So
So Tracy, you wrote a very compelling, I call it op-ed. And it was really about what happened last night, but it's still relevant tonight. So if you don't mind, you want to share that with the viewers?
Okay, so
on point.
Yesterday morning, when I realized that was the State of the Union, yesterday morning I wrote, today's propaganda is called the State of the Union. I am confident that it will be filled with lies. The people that some of you voted for will be the loudest applause and cheering. The dignified Democrats won't say a word. Unlike the time President Obama spoke and the rude Republicans yelled that he was a liar. I would recommend that during this time, you hold your own personal State of the Union in your household. I don't intend to even turn it on. Has your life improved since the current administration has been in office? What about the people around you? Have they seen improvement? What about ICE? Do you realize President Obama deported more people legally than he who shall not be named has deported illegally? Even with the unreasonable quota and these commercials to self-deport. The cost of living has gone up, yet the pay isn't gone up. DEI didn't only impact the people intended, but white women have been sent home to have babies, and white men aren't getting into Ivy League schools anymore, because guess what? That was DEI as well. Sure, more people of color are leaving good government jobs. Them darn yeah, they have been fired. Those darn epi files, Pam Bondi says that we can't prosecute the people in the files because this country would collapse. Well, y'all okay with protecting pedos until it's your child? Are you okay with going to war to hide what's in these files? That part that we know about is horrible. What about the information that we don't know? I could say more, but you see what's happening if you watch the news. Every day, that dude is on the news, normalizing what is going on. Early voting has started in most areas. Do your research, get your ass out, and vote early.
Go ahead, T. Strange, yes.
So
Chef's kiss.
my sister reminded me a couple of months ago about my grandmother and my great grandmother. These are my mother's mother and her grandmother. They are from North Carolina. And when they got the right to vote, they had to walk to vote. And they had to pay $1 each to vote. And they didn't know whether they
had to pay? They had to pay?
Yeah, pay $1. Pay $1 to vote. And they were paying $1 to vote. And it's no guarantee.
What like decade are we talking? The 60s, 50s, 60s?
Yeah, 50s, around in there.
Wow.
Yeah, just when the voting rights actually started.
And they literally had to pay to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They had to pay the vote. So that, for me, voting is important because of that reason. We are obligated to take advantage of our right. We have a right to choose our representation. Back then, they had to walk and pay. No telling whether their vote counted or not. No telling. Now, there's some people who say they don't vote because my vote don't count. But people win by hundreds of votes. People lose by hundreds of votes. So at least get your ass out and vote. And whether they win or lose, you've done what you could to put people in office to align with the things that you believe for your family. Because my apartment is $1,700.
And that's on the low end, probably. Folks are paying 2,500, 2,000, starting at 2,000, 2,200, 2,500.
Yeah, my apartment is $1,700, and it includes some great amenities here. I like an accoutrement, I do. But some people are having trouble, whether it's on the higher end or on the lower end. No family should have to work 2 and 3 jobs and sacrifice their children, sacrifice being kids, because latchkey kids, it's different now. It's different now than when we used to come home from school and be told to go in the house and don't let nobody in, and this is what you can do. It's different now because now you got social media, you got cell phones, and it's more dangerous now than it was in those days. And you got even 2-parent homes that they're working one parent is working 2 jobs, one parent is working 1 job, and it's just to pay the rent. The rent may not even be $1,700. Rent may be $1,200.
And you look, I think now, I don't know anywhere in the country people paying $1,200 for a parking space. for parking, they got a parking garage. They charge you $1,200 a month for like a parking garage, a parking space.
Yeah. So the thing is, this country is not even racist, not just racist. It's based on casteism, and casteism is worldwide. And casteism, for people who don't know, is I'm white, you white, but I think my white is better than your white. So my hierarchy is higher than your hierarchy. And this is how we have racism here. How that was created was because there were white slaves and there were black slaves. And the rich white people say, hey, you white people, although you slaves, you better than these black slaves. Because in their mind, if y'all get together, you all are going to revolt against us. So that's where the racism situation was inserted into casteism. So there are 2 different things that are going on in this country. Now, how I know all of this, because I'm more than regular smart, and that's just straight up. No, what's going on. Yes, things are racism, but a lot of racism is rooted in casteism.
Which is rooted, like I said, if you take it all the way down, you've got patriarchy, and people, a small handful of people, like I said, those same small handful of Europeans, or those group of Europeans. If just Google the Belgian conference, where you had King Leopold of Belgium and the leaders in the United Kingdom. United States was a part of this Belgian conference in the, I think, was it the late 1800s, early 1900s? No, it was in the 1800s. So the Belgian conference, you had, like I said, King Leopold got together all these, France, and I know France was part of the United Kingdom, United States, Germany, not so much, but definitely the UK, the United States, Belgium, France, Portugal, Spain, got together and decided, okay, we're going to invade. Like I called it last night, colonization. Colonization is a fancy, nice way of saying we're going to break into your house. We're going to engage in like armed robbery. We're going to come to your country and we just going to strong arm armory. We're going to rob your ass and either kick you off the land. I'll come in and just take your shit. We're going to take resources. And if you get in the way, we'll kill you and we'll kill you or rape the women. But they came up with this cute, a little sophisticated, nice word, a colonization. It doesn't sound violent.
But the other thing about that is Christianity was a part of that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, that was a huge, the Christianity was remixed, and it was used, it was part of the mind game, the mind screw, the mind F. Because they knew there was a segment of the population that if you could co-opt some of these religious leaders, break them off, what does that sound like today? Or find some of these mega churches, some of these pastors, break them off for some money, and they'll be singing from the same hymn book. Understand that America's racist remix version of Christianity and racist remix King James version of the Bible was used to not just justify slavery. To say, listen, this is the Lord's way. Masters obey your slaves.
Yeah, it is, because I've been listening to the Old Testaments, and yeah, that's right. That's right. But that's also how some of the laws are created here based on the Old Testament. I'm not going to go too deep because, right. I'm a nerd by heart.
But Tracy, those same people seem to ignore the Matthew 25 kind of version of the Bible. That red letter part, they seem to, I guess they don't like that part. That, like you said, how you treat the least of these, how you treat me, welcome the immigrant and, help the sick. That Matthew 20, they don't like that version of the Bible because they don't live by those principles.
Yeah, so they're not really living by the Old Testament principles either.
No,
because if you read the Old Testament, and I ain't gonna go too deep in the Bible, but when you read the Old Testament, a lot of the stuff that they are doing is punishable by death. So a lot of the things that the government here that's doing in the name of Christianity and evangelical is all punishable. A lot of it is punishable by death. So, I mean,
make it make sense.
We can't.
Who remix y'all Bible?
We can't.
Was it Diddy? Did Diddy remix y'all 50 Cent? Did they remix it?
So the thing is, we can't pick and choose. We can't cherry pick our belief system. I don't believe that Christianity is the end all be all. I am a Christian. I do believe in the Bible, but I also have an understanding that there is the Quran and there is the Torah, and both of those holy texts were written before the Holy Bible. And I also know that the Holy Bible that we read now was edited by King James for him to get whatever benefit that his intent was.
Right. So yeah, so we won't even try to educate you all about the Council of Nicaea, this council that got together that decided, what's gonna go in this remix version? We got to kind of remix it and redo this book so we can use it to kind of to justify and to give an approval to where we can oppress people. We gotta say that it's God's will that your that the slave should obey them. So they had to remix this. So it's like some of that stuff you was talking about. We can't put that in this version. We got that Matthew 25. Now leave that over there.
Well, when they did that, that's what created the hierarchy that created casteism. Mm-hmm. And then when they decided, we're going to have you whites leave behind the fact that you are Jewish, the fact that you are Irish, the fact that you are Spanish. So they said you are white, to leave that behind, for them to be connected to proximity of who had the higher,
power,
who was higher,
the economic and political power.
Right.
Damn, T.
So
you've been watching. You have been watching my show. You just said the same. So before you leave, first of all, I lost count. I guess in the lead in, I said last night you get a chance to see the end of the show. I teased you were going to be on. I said she's an author of many books. So I knew many were six. There you go. All right. Working on two more. So you want to share with the public that and give us an idea of when you're going to release those two books, what they're about. And you have a huge event, it's going to be like a seminar. I won't say women's empowerment. I know it's going to be focused on mothers and daughters, which is going to be incredible. So before you get out here, I want you to take some time and kind of just wrap up the show. Let everybody know about the projects, the books that you're finishing up, and this incredible event, and give us all the dates and how we can get more information about this seminar.
So there are two books. One that I've been working on for years, Dialogues with Daughters. I started that maybe after my daughter and I finished our book together. She was 15 then, now she's 27. So I started that book during that time, but it's taken a long time because, growing up, raising a daughter has changes. I have changes, she has changes, and the things that I want to be able to tell her now will be different than what I would have told her in the past based on her journey as a teenager and into womanhood. The other thing is I'm creating that book because so many times as a mother, whether you are a single mother or you're a mother that has, the father in the house, a lot of times we are dealing with stuff with our daughters and we feel like we're alone. And you're not alone because those snapshots that they're putting on social media, child, them mothers and daughters not getting along good like that. That's just a picture. That's just that one moment. Come on, cheese, baby. That's what that is. The other book, I don't really quite have a title for it yet, just because.
So is this nonfiction? The second one, is this nonfiction or fiction?
This is going to be right now I'm in my master life coach thing. So when I decide to do something else, I'm going to do it under a pseudonym.
So we should expect a novel after you get through. I'm translating it. That's what I'm hearing and seeing, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's gonna happen because my aunt, rest her soul, always told me, you always write these books for girls and women to be good. They don't want to be good. They want to be bad. You need to write some stuff for them to be bad with. So I'm gonna revisit that after I get done with these two. But the other one, I'm really exploring what my life is. Without my children, I'm not responsible for children anymore. And the hot button or the word was soft life. What soft life means to everybody is different. And I'm exploring what femininity and what soft life really is, because when you are raising children, you don't really have the opportunity to be nurturing, to be loving, because you're always on go. And I'm learning to relax in that. And I think that that's an important part, that femininity is more than getting your hair done. I don't participate in that. It's more than an outward shell. It's more internal. It's more of a calmness, a rest spirit. So I'm exploring that thought process, so that I can share that with women, so that maybe you can get to that point before your kids are gone, so you can be at a rested state before your kids leave. Because I'm at a rested state. I'm really at a rested state, and that's what those two. Now, my daughter, I mentioned my daughter and I, Tahaya, we wrote a book for daughters, mothers and daughters, I can't even remember the way we came up with the premise. But she was 15, and you know, when girls get 14, 15, they going through life. So I was going through the perspective, looking at it as I was her mom, and she was going through the perspective of, this is what I'm dealing with at this age, and that's how we did that book. We'll probably do a new edition, but our big project is What Your Mama Never Told You. That's going to be October 10th here in Houston. We're looking for Avenue right now.
Now, what your
This
mama never told you, let people know. So that's not a book. That's a seminar, right?
this is an experience
Okay.
because
Thank you.
the when we did a year before last, it was a great turnout. We had wonderful speakers. We had the 11 to 18 separated from the grown women, and the conversations were different. We had a sex educator from one of the high schools to talk to the girls. We had Dr. Savoy. She talked about education. We had somebody from the bank talk about money for the young people. And then when it came to the adult women, we had Coach Tony, that's my cousin. She came down and talked about financial stability, and how her children, they had businesses from the time they were like 16 or 17. So that's what she teaches in her house. You got to get a business. You don't necessarily have to go to get a degree. We had her, she's coming back. We had an attorney, but she's also a speaker. Sean Speaks. She talked about domestic violence. So we're having those type of conversations. So we are doing conversation starting topics, because sometimes, as close as you and your daughter might be, conversation may be a little bit different. Our theme this year is breaking. What is? I don't want to say it wrong, so give me a second. Let me look at it real quick.
That's okay.
Because I just actually came up with the theme after I started building who the speakers were going to be.
And this again, what's the date for this this event?
This is
experience.
this is going to be October 10th.
Okay. That's the weekend. Is it Saturday?
It is going to be on a Saturday, because the previous Saturday is my sorority meeting. So
Okay. Shout out your sorority. Go on and get it out the way. Shout them out. Shout them sisters out.
Delta Psi Rho. So we're doing it the weekend after my monthly meeting. So I think it's something like breaking generational bonds, building relationships, something like that.
Well, you'll be back on multiple times to promote it, so but that's okay.
Yeah. So this year is it's going to be some fun. It's going we have a florist coming out teaching how to do floral arrangements. We have a mother-daughter competition game. So we got some interactive stuff. So we have more than just some yapping. we got some fun stuff. We got some things that are for me and my daughter, because she's helping plan it as a 27-year-old now. The things that are important that we wish we knew when she was growing up. So we are very intentional with building Black women. Now, other women can come. I just know what it was to be a Black girl. I know what it is to be a Black woman, and that's no slight to nobody else. I just know what it is to be in my skin.
Yeah, it is different than it is for white women. That's just a fact. Yeah, that's
now some people don't like to agree with that, but until you lived in our skin, then you don't know.
You don't have to my grandmother would say, tell the truth, shame the devil. So if you got a problem with the truth, then shame the devil, you take it up with him, because the truth needs no defense.
So this year we are actually doing sponsorships. So the sponsorships, if you want your business and you want your business exposure to be in a different market, because I am in Houston, Texas. I am in Harris County. Like I said, Harris County is the third largest county in the entire country and the first in the state. So if you have social, if you have, Geno, you a business out of the state, but you need more viewership. My friend, she has a cigar brand for women. She's probably going to be a sponsor. So I'm going to say not support a black business. I'm going to say support something that you align with that is positive for the community. And that's whether it's black or white. Support something that's positive for community. But yeah, I want you to support me.
And let me just say this. Let me just pause you. Yes, support something that is empowering, that is positive, that lifts your soul and your spirit, and it can be enlightening and educational. But it is important that we support black-owned businesses and black institutions. We got to stop apologizing for supporting, economically supporting our community. No other group, Italians, they don't apologize. The Chinese in Chinatown don't apologize. We both are from Chicago. You had little Italy neighborhoods, you had little Poland, the Jewish community. I lived in LA, Koreatown. You had communities primarily Jewish neighborhoods. No other ethnic group, they don't apologize. They don't apologize for supporting their community economically. So we stop worrying about what other people gonna think and say, because other people gonna think and say what they gonna think and
So
say
I don't
for
really
100
care what
years.
people think or say
Oh, I know you
because
don't. I'm just, and
I
I'm
I
not
don't.
talking to just
Um,
collectively. That's where, and I've been saying that is, I am, I am, I am pro humanity. If you lean into humanity, because at the end of the day, we are all humans. All these labels and artificial borders, but I am unapologetically pro-black. I'm not anti anybody, but living in America, 407 going on 407 years, this country has been um, in a extreme, uh, systematic, evil genius kind of way, unapologetically anti-black, from its institutions, from the way its constitution was designed, the institutional, from your laws, Jim Crow, medicine, education. So I make no apologies for being pro-black in America, because America has been anti-black for 406 and a half years. And I still don't, can you hear me? No, I still can't hear you. I ain't heard, no systems or institutions apologizing for the anti-blackness that is now probably at a height it hadn't been in 50, 60 years. So that's just my take. So
yeah. So as the church folks like to say, you sowing into good ground because they like to say that.
So,
So
all right,
that's
so how can everybody, those who would like to be a sponsor, a title sponsor, get some information, uh, how they can support the endeavor? Are you going to have vendors? I'm sure you'll probably have vendors there. So just from a business standpoint, in terms of sponsorship and support of the event, just give everybody the contact information that they
so
need to reach out to you.
I'm actually building everything out this weekend. I know what my plan is, so I just have to build everything out. I am going to have 6 sponsors, and I'm very specific with, not 6 sponsors, 6 vendors who will be able to sell products and services on the spot. Sponsorship, as many people want to sponsor, that's what's up. Um, we bring in some heavy hitters in. Um, all of my speakers that we bringing the fan favors back from the year before, and we doing some. You remember Candy? She's coming down.
Yes.
Um,
Man, we
right.
gotta y'all. Man, y'all gotta run this thing back. I gotta you and her. You all were a hit together. Y'all, I need to play Ryan Seacrest and produce like a reality show with the two of y'all, because
So
you guys, chemistry was it was just jumped off the screen.
The thing about Candy, she'll be talking about decisions because she was a getaway driver for her boyfriend when she was 17.
Damn.
Right. So she'll be talking about decisions.
Wow.
Right. So she'll be talking about decisions. I'm waiting on confirmation from a doctor to talk about trauma. So we not playing with developing the community better, um, doing more for the community. But once we build that out, Tahaya wants to really get into some mentorship and stuff for girls. She wants to create some programs. So we going hard on developing stuff for our girls. And you don't necessarily have to be an A student, because some of us can't be A students, not me, but some of us can't be A students because of the stuff we got going on in our households. Some of us can be A students because some of us not eating at home. Going to school is our only way outside of what's going on at the house. So we are developing these things because these are things that she said she saw when she was in school.
All right, so listen, you do have social media platforms. So if you want to give out all your social media contact, people can DM you and they can follow you if they're not following you. Your site, your site is still up, right? So just give everybody all your social media.
My site is not up because I don't need no site. I just decided I don't need a website anymore. We got social media on Instagram, where I am more active. I am the #1 authentic woman. On TikTok, I don't use the ticks and the talks like that, but I am on TikTok at One Authentic Woman. The same thing. Everything is the same on TikTok, Instagram, as well as Facebook. I'm One Authentic Woman, but also on Facebook, I am Trenace Carter. That's my personal page. So that's me. I'm the same in person as I am I'm live and in Memorex. I'm exactly the same.
Yes, she is. What you see on camera is what you get.
Who I am as a person is who I am as a business brand. Those two are exactly the same. Sure. I just kind of try to tone it down just
Trenace,
a little bit.
Spell it for people so they make sure they search it right.
One, the #1.
Oh, Trenace. You see your other Facebook page.
Trenace. Just like it sounds, that's how it's spelled. Tren, Trenace. Carter, like the president. That's easy. So how I show up one place is how I show up every place.
Thank you, Trenace Carter. We can't wait to hear these 2 books. So we got a screenplay coming out of one, if not both?
I want to take a master class.
See him on the big screen?
Yeah, I want to take a master class to learn how to write for the screen. One of our girls from Chicago was nominated for an NAACP award for editing a series for Disney, the Ironheart one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Somebody I grew up with, and she graduated from Whitney Young.
Shout her out. What's her name?
Dina Noel.
Shout out to Dina. Okay, Dolphin. Whitney Young Dolphin. Go on, yeah, girl, do your thing. All right. Congrats. So, congratulations to you, Trenace. Thank you, T. You always hit a home run every time you come on. So I know you'll be back on soon. Once you get more details, when you get everything mapped out, you come back and then give everybody the specifics, the venue. We know the date, so save the date, and will this be like a all day, have to start in the morning, go to the afternoon?
It's gonna be a 9 o'clock till probably 2 o'clock.
Okay.
I like to feed the people. Because I like to eat. So I like to feed the people. We go see what we go feed the people.
So cool. All right. Thank you. Great job. Check out her op-ed again that she read on it's on Facebook under Trenace.
It is
Trenace Carter. What's the title of it? Did you type it?
I did not title it
I didn't
because
think I
it was
saw a title. Yeah.
no, because it was just me and my thought process, and I was typing as I was thinking.
But if you missed it, she read it early. If you missed it, go to her page and support her on all her platforms. Thank you, T.
All
Great
right.
job as always.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Texas,
Get your ass out.
on your way out, when does early voting in Texas stop?
It ends on Friday.
This
Um,
Friday? Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Because it's the 27th, because election day is March the 3rd.
Thank you.
So you've had 10 days to early vote. They don't do early vote on Saturday before the election. So the polls are open from 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. So the earlier you get out the vote, you can get in and get out. But when I went at 10 o'clock, I was done. I spent more time parking, and I had 112 selections to choose from. So get out and vote. Whether you are in Texas or whatever state you're in, if you have a primary, get out there and choose the representative for you. I'm not saying that all making it all Democrat is the right thing, but I will say it's all Republican, and that's the wrong thing right now. So you got to have a balance. You can't just and there are no holds bars at this point, and we need somebody to put the guardrails back on this shit, just straight up.
And I live in Texas, and the sister ain't cut me a check. But listen, y'all need to show up for my girl, Jasmine Crockett, because she's showing up. She gonna show up for you all. And if nothing else, don't show up. Don't show up for Jasmine Crockett. Show up for yourself. Show up for your family. At least show up for somebody. And listen, these politicians are public servants. They are part of a delivery system. They ain't your boy, they ain't your girl, they ain't your frat brother, they're not your sorority sister, they hangout buddy, trap vacation, no, that's not their job. Is to make your life better and to make sure that they can help provide the resources that you need, the resources and the revenue and the opportunity so you and your family can be the best version of themselves. And if they're not focused on making your life better,
Vote for somebody else.
That's simple. They work for you. You are their boss. People, they got this shit backwards. They're public servant. It's a difference between a politician and a public servant. But politicians who really understand their job and their assignment, they understand that they are public servants. And their job is to serve the public, not to enrich themselves. And if they don't understand that, then you shouldn't have with them. Just my take. Thank you, T. Thank you, Miss Carter, Miss Trenace Carter. We'll see you again soon.
Everybody next time. Bye-bye.
She always does a great job. And go to her Facebook page and check out her, is Arlene over here. Shout out to everybody. I didn't get a chance to shout everybody out on camera there. Folks in the chat room. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. Click on that thumbs up button right now. Share, subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. All I needed was 10 new subscribers, and then my channel, my media company, we've officially become YouTube partners. That means that YouTube will, my media company, we'll get a check every month from YouTube because of everybody that subscribed to the channel, everybody that has watched, everybody that's clicked the like button, everybody that has shared and subscribed and told everybody, and everybody that's watched and rewatched it and copy and pasted the link. So I thank everybody. Thank you for what you've done, and I thank you in advance for what you're going to do. Shout out to my good friend, Mayor Shardale Murray. The Geno Jones Show brought to you by the town of Hollywood, South Carolina, and Mayor Shardale Murray and Murray's Mortuary. They have 3 locations in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. So you have Hollywood, South Carolina, Johns Island, South Carolina, and you have North Charleston. And Mayor Murray will be a guest. As a matter of fact, she'll be on a couple times. The town of Hollywood, South Carolina, doing some really great things which is part of the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check her and her Lexi Jones collection out. LX.NCL_LX.NCL_. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on IG, Instagram, Kel Be Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. If you would like to be a sponsor, like to advertise on the Geno Jones Show, I'd love to have you as part of the Geno Jones Show family. And by the way, you can support individually. You can support the show financially right now. Use my email address, GenoJonesShow@gmail, all one word, GenoJonesShow@gmail, via Zelle. No amount is too small or too large. That same email address, if you'd like to be a sponsor or advertise, shoot me an email. I'll get you the sponsorship information. But like I said, you can make a financial contribution right now via Zelle using my email address, GenoJonesShow@gmail. Or right now, you can support the show and my media company financially via Cash App, $Dad G Jones. All one word, $, capital D, lowercase a d, capital G J, lowercase ONES. Thank you. I love you. Love is a verb. It is an action word. Show your love. We'll see you Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Thank you for watching. I love you.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.